So, here we are, 1 week in, or 0 weeks in, if you really think about it. We're 0 weeks in, and we've already got some of the worst footy you will probably ever see. I'm already ready to look for an exit. I've seen enough. I know what's going to happen. The future of this sport is in terrible, terrible, terrible shape. If you like defensive footy, you will be really upset with how this sport is going. It's a dumpster fire. I think it's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire in a hurricane with a cyclone hitting it, in a tsunami, in a tornado, mixed with an earthquake, with a sprinkle of bushfire. It is just, I don't know, just okay. So the first two games were the most unenjoyable footy games you'll probably ever see, in terms of just footy, not storylines or funnies and all that shit. Like, just footy wise, it was awful. The other game was good. Just a side note, I have not seen yet this Collingwood St Kilda game. I'm recording this currently Sunday afternoon, so we'll see what happens with that. But I don't think that game can top the best game of the year already. I think it is already. And it's not Brisbane Western Bulldogs. It is Sydney Carlton. Why it's the best game, you ask? Well, picture this. Thursday night, everyone's excited. SCG, Blockbuster, it's full of Carlton. Probably 60% Carlton, 40% Sydney, right? Which is pretty good, okay? Everyone's ready to go. I heard that siren go, and I'm not going to lie, I fanboyed out. I was like, fuck yeah, we're back. I'm so fucking ready. Like, I felt like a little kid again. I was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. And then they started playing, and then the fucking ball was thrown up, and I saw some of the worst football I have ever seen in my life. I honestly, for a second, I had to make sure I was watching the right channel. I wasn't sure if I was watching like some YouTube video of like two like retirees trying to assemble some fucking IKEA furniture in the dark, blindfolded, upside down. Like, their skills were like offensive. They made me want to throw up. They made me want to call the police, someone, I don't know, anyone to stop this. As a great man once said, it was like watching two retards trying to fuck a doorknob. A lot of effort, zero penetration, and everyone just looks stupid and silly. Now, before I get into the real analysis, right? Which is fucking no analysis, really. But you know the year's going to be a fucking disaster when Brodie Kemp kicks the first goal of the year. Brodie Kemp. And not only is it a goal, it is like the best goal he's ever kicked. Might be the goal of the year. It was a fucking ripper goal. Like, it was crazy. But you know what that means? The world is ending. The harvest is going to fail. There are wars that are on the brink of nuclear annihilation. Brodie Kemp kicks the first goal. That is step one. That is DEFCON 5, I think. I think it goes backwards. So DEFCON, I don't know now. Panicking. But anyway, that is step one to the world ending. That is for sure. By halftime, Carlton should be up by 5 goals. Everyone knows that. They should have had the game, not won, but in a lot better shape. Like, that first half was disgusting, awful. Harry McKay, is he even a real person? Is he real? Does he exist? Does he actually play footy? Is he just a figment of my imagination? I'm convinced that he's real, but I can't see him. Is he a hologram? Is he a hologram that, the AFL has designed, where it's like a social experiment. Like, will you notice this 2-meter tall guy who does absolutely nothing for 2 hours? Will anyone actually care? Is it is Harry McKay a social experiment? Is Ollie Hollands a social experiment? I've been saying this for maybe 2 years now. Ollie Hollands, he has to have some photos of Vossi. I'm sorry. I don't know how the fuck he still gets a game. I understand why Louis Young gets a game, because they've probably got no one there to do his job. Ollie Hollands, he's the most replaceable player in the AFL. What does he do? He runs a lot. He just has a really big motor. His brother, Elijah Hollands, shithouse. Don't even know why they brought him back. They should have just let him go. He kicked a good goal, but that's it. He's soft. They're both soft. Why are they still playing? Anyway, that's the first half, right? So the first half is Carlton, they're winning. But Sydney are playing so bad, like fucking terrible. Can't hit a target, can't get anything going. Like they look like they're trying to do something, but then someone, like one of the chains break. Like Logan McDonald looks like a deer on ice, like he can't do anything. Then the second half happens, and Carlton blink, and 12 goals go by, and now they're getting destroyed. Carlton, they didn't just lose, and this is why it's my favorite game of the weekend. They didn't just lose; it was a total collapse. It was a total collapse of a team, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch the implosion of all these hopes and all these dreams of all these Carlton people and all these Carlton players, just to realize, oh my God, it's the same thing all over again, but it's worse. It's way worse. It's way worse than we could have imagined. Vossi doesn't have long. He's not long for this earth, so we need to cherish Vossi and cherish all the moments we have from him. And I appreciate him really trying to defend his players in the press conference, because it was, he should be, you know what, fuck being a coach. Go be a politician. The way you spun your players' terrible efforts, go be a politician. Honestly, you don't come back from this. Honestly, you can't come back from this. This is the one game where you really need to show something. Curno's there, right? Curno's there. I haven't even mentioned him yet. I haven't even mentioned Charlie Curnow yet. That's how much I didn't give a shit. That's how much this Carlton collapse has been on my mind. Charlie Curnow revenge game. He's there. Why aren't you going right into him? I'm sorry, call me old fashioned. I'm not even that old, right? But your head, it's like Michael Voss. You know what? If you don't know who Michael Voss was like a player, he would be the person who would go straight up to fucking Charlie Curnow and just floor him. Why did no one do that? I know Louis Young tried to do it at the start, but who fucking cares? Louis Young, he sucks. He's so shit. The doggies got rid of him, and they needed him. That's how shit he was. They had a problem with, not a problem, but they didn't really need to lose him. But they said, "Fuck you. You can leave because you're that shit." It was just, yeah. I don't know how no one just goes after Charlie Curnow. Yeah, Cripper tried to, but it doesn't matter. It was too little too late. I know it was at the start, but it was only Cripper. Where are the other people? And then, sorry, Adam Sard. There are I reckon 6 or 7 Carlton players that had probably one of the worst games you could possibly have. Adam Sard, shithouse. Absolute shithouse game. Adam Sard, Ollie Hollands, Elijah Hollands, Harry McKay, Lewis. I don't know, man. It's just terrible. It's the same thing in Carlton. There's 3 or 4 players that actually have a crack, and the rest don't. And we all have seen, obviously, what fucking Sam Doherty said, and it's true. Even though he was coerced to saying that, or not coerced, but was saying that and not realizing that would actually go to the public. You know what? He stood by it and he said, you know what? I didn't know that was going to the public, and Daniel Gorringe is a kind of a cunt for doing that, but I stand by what I said. I respect the fuck out of that. That's why Sam Doherty, greatest Carlton player ever. I don't care what anyone says. Sam Doherty, he is the fucking man. I could go on about this game for ages, but I'm going to stop there because I've probably got some people that are going to call me about this game and go absolutely mental. So I'm going to let them fill that space. Let's go to Geelong Gold Coast. Now, this game, I'll give you some backstory here. I actually didn't watch this game at home. Like, I watched the first game at home. This game I watched at the pub with my mate. And, anyway, the missus and that, whatever. Don't care, it doesn't matter. I thought this game would be a good, like, well-coached affair, you know? Like, two minds going at it. You know, you've got Dimma, you know, mastermind of the fucking Richmond dynasty. You've got Chris Scott, like, ready to fucking go. And you've got Christian Petracca. First game as a son. And he's already the favourite son. Immediately looks like an absolute weapon. The overgrown beard, the looks he was giving in the centre bounces, I was scared. I was genuinely petrified. If I had to play against him, I would be running. That fucking Italian fucking bull frame looking at me like a fucking psychopath with an overgrown beard and a belly full of fucking good food. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. Bailey Humphrey, to me, he looks like Dusty 2.0. He looks like such a fucking weapon. Oh my God, he looks so good. Humphrey Bear, just mauling, out here mauling cunts. Now, I haven't even spoken about the game yet because the game was the most shocked I've ever been. I did not expect Geelong to come out like that and just get destroyed. It looked like they had no plan. Like they had no plan. Like, yeah, they didn't have Jezza. You know, they lost Dange. Like, Danger wasn't playing, Jezza wasn't playing, and it looked like a shell of themselves. Honestly, they looked like they just had there was no leadership on the ground. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen Geelong play like that. Their forward entries, and you know what? Let's just circle back quickly. Carlton's forward entries were awful. Geelong's forward entries were almost as bad. It was just like, just kick it to fucking bomb it to Shannon Neal, or that's it. We got no other. No one was leading. It felt like no one was really giving up any chances to actually kick a goal. It was crazy. Like, yeah, I was so surprised. I was so surprised at how poor Geelong played. Like, I thought they would show up there. You have to show up there. You know, you've got to. Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, I'm still so shocked. Honestly, I just didn't think that would be possible for a Geelong team. Anyway, Gold Coast now. Let's talk about Gold Coast a little bit more. So, obviously, track, weapon. Humphrey Bear, weapon. Their ball movement looks so good. Like, their play style was great, and it really suited this new kind of AFL where it just looks like all attack, not no defense, but like if you don't have a great defense, you might be able to just outgun them. And Gold Coast outgunned them. Yeah, like their defense didn't have to do much because they had no fucking game plan, but like Gold Coast, when they were rolling, it was like you couldn't stop them. You could not stop Gold Coast. They look great. They're going to be hard to beat again at People's First Stadium, the best stadium in the world, because it's not for any people. The people there don't actually exist. But yeah, look, this game was awful. Honestly, this game was awful. It was a 2 out of 10. I do not recommend it. It was a one-sided snuff film. Disgusting. If you didn't watch it, you haven't missed much. Now we're going to jump into the game that I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't have much to this game. GWS vs Hawthorn. All I can say is it's a Hollywood Mirage. You had Tom Hanks in the crowd, which was just so ironic. don't ask me why. The Giants had a hot start, and they didn't stop. They didn't stop for the rest of the day. They just kept putting the pressure on Hawthorn. They kept putting the foot down and made them pay. At every single point, they made them pay. Hawthorn were just... I don't know how you don't win that. I'm sorry. I just don't know how you don't win that. You've got to win that. Like, you've got... the Giants have so many... They've got so many injuries, man. They've got so many injuries. They've got like 6 or 7 players that should be in their best 22. And they're not playing. Like Tom Green. Tom fucking Green's not playing, guys. Josh Kelly, not playing. But you've got Clary. Clary's in. He looks good. Bargain bin steal, Clayton Oliver. Terrifying. I always thought, I always rated Clary. He just needs to get his head on. If he got his head on straight, he'd be sweet. But when he doesn't, he's a bit fucking airy-fairy. But fuck, when he's on, and he looks great at the Giants. It looks like a great piece for the Giants. Just wait till Tom Green comes in, and then all their fucking guns start coming in again. Jake Stringer looks fit, which is again strange, scary, but it is a contract year. So normally, contract years, he does turn it up. We all know that. Jesse Hogan, beastly presence. That's what to me, he's just a monster. He's just a black hole of just fucking kick it here and I'll bring it down, or I'll just tap it. Crummer, get ready. You're gonna get something here. He looks like the ideal male fucking specimen. He looks like the picture perfect key forward. Looks great. Fucking big, huge frame. Clanks him, kicks him. Just, it was wild where he just couldn't do it for Melbourne or Freo. But Hawthorn, man, they put Chol into the ruck and that got him going a bit. And yeah, they had a little bit of a late spur, but it was a little bit too little, too late, and it was just crazy that they just couldn't. The Orange Tsunami they were just overwhelmed by the Orange Tsunami. Honestly, they were overwhelmed. They were just outplayed, I think. Honestly, they were outplayed, which is very strange for a Hawthorn team. Sam Mitchell wasn't happy. I wouldn't be happy either. They should have won this game. They honestly let this one slip big time. Now, talking about letting games slip, this is the other game that everyone wants to really hear. The Gabba Miracle. We're already calling it the Gabba Miracle. Saturday night, at the Gabba, I had the doggies written off before the game even started. I had the shovel in the ground. I was outside. I printed a photo of Bevo. I had it ready to go. I'm like, you're done. I saw Sam Darcy flop so fucking hard. It was actually pretty embarrassing. And I thought, fuck, this could be bad for the Dogs. Hugh McLuggage goes down with a calf. That's a big loss for Lions, of course. Harris Andrews, weeks for that elbow, by the way. Absolute weeks. I don't care what anyone says. He's gone. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. Please. So, Lions are running away with it. I didn't think that I was ready to just call it. I was ready to call it quits. I was ready to turn it off and be like, you know what? I'll watch this tomorrow morning. I'm pretty tired. Been a long fucking day, I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow morning because I know. I've seen this show before. Brisbane are just going to roll them. They'll probably win by about 40 points. Then out of nowhere, Bailey Williams, he sold more candy than Epstein. What a fucking goal. Honestly, that was the point of maybe the Doggies have a shout. Like, they look up and about. And if he kicked that goal right before three-quarter time, I think it was right before three-quarter time, that big fucking bomb, that would have been poor. Like, it would have been, they would have won quicker, sooner. They would have accelerated time. They would have been like the Flash and moved the Earth quicker for them to win. That was the turning point. The Bont, all game was class. All fucking game was class. Like, Jesus Christ. There's no better player in the AFL than the Bontempelli. You couldn't give, I don't care what you say, Dacos, that's it. I don't care. There is no better player than Bontempelli. No one. He was class. And they just, like, the start of the game, the first like 3 quarters, it was like, how do the doggies not, like, they just keep not capitalizing on their opportunities. And it was the exact same thing that I feel like plagues them all the time. Like, they just can't capitalize. And then it was weird. It was like face off. Like, it switched. Everything switched. Brisbane inherited all of Doggies' fuck ups, and then the Doggies inherited all of fucking Lions' like, brilliance. And then they just rolled. They rolled and they didn't stop. Ed Richards' gun. Tim English, these new rules were made for him. He looked fucking unreal. He was putting poor Darcy Fort to pasture. They had to bring Darcy Fort to the back and shoot. I'm telling you, he was cooked. He was cooked. It was like last year, I remember, watching Goldstein versus De Koning, and De Koning was just running him all over the park. That was exactly what Tim English was doing. He was killing Darcy Fort, killing him. They need Draper, I reckon. They really fucking need Draper, because that was not good. That was not good. Yeah. I mean, I just couldn't believe when they actually won. Like, seriously, like, even at the end when like they were like Brisbane were coming, I'm like, oh, here we go. There's gonna be a draw, and then who missed? Was it Rayner? Someone who missed? I don't know who missed. Someone missed at the end, and I'm like, well, there's not enough time to ice it yet, so they're gonna have to bomb it out, and then it's gonna come back into Brisbane's forward 50, mark goal. And then they're going to win. That's what I thought. I thought there's no way Doggies are winning. Even when it was like 90% probability. Even when the Doggies won the contested ball out of the kick out, when there's like 30 seconds left, bombed it down the field. I still thought, well, Brisbane still could win here. Like, they've got the ball now. They've got 25 seconds to go. Then he kicks it inside to Lockie Neal and Zorko, and he stops. And I'm like, well, that's it. Now they've fucking lost. I can't believe the Doggies won. They were a team that couldn't beat anyone in the top 8 last year. Anyone, and they beat the best team in the AFL. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what a turn of events for the Dogs. Like, I was ready. I was so ready to bury Bevo and say, well, it's the same old fucking Doggies. Like, they just can't, they can't capitalize on their opportunities. They make so many opportunities. They've got guns all over the park. They just can't get it done, but they got it done, and I hope they get it done this year, guys. I'm not a Doggy supporter. I'm not, but I'm a big Bont supporter. He deserves another one. He deserves a Brownlow. How he hasn't won a Brownlow is a fucking travesty. Bullshit. He is the best player in the AFL. Last night, he was so fucking good. So good. So classy. So fucking... Stop. Pause. Big pause. Anyway. So, we'll be right back. Throw it to one of our sponsors now. And we'll be back with St Kilda vs Collingwood. Woohoo. And welcome back. So, Collingwood defeat St Kilda by 12 points. Now the opening round is done for me. Again, I can see the future. I can see where the AFL is heading. It is heading into... You think teams are good because they got so-and-so players and they went hard in free agency and they've got a new scheme, they've got a new style, new coach, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. The same teams will win. The teams that you think will win. It doesn't matter if Collingwood are undermanned. It doesn't matter if St Kilda have all these new flashy pieces. They will still lose. So Collingwood were still too good for St Kilda, even though they spent half of Australia's GDP on Tom De Koning. That was still not good enough. But in saying that, I am a little bit surprised that St Kilda were actually able to they really really could have won this game. And I know Collingwood are undermanned, but I'm still pretty surprised with St Kilda. I just didn't think they'd be good. Like I genuinely did think they'd be good, even though they got Flanders, De Koning, Silvani, Ryan. I still didn't think they'd be good. I really thought they'd be a big disappointment. It is only round zero. They've obviously lost Rowan Marshall, which is, I wouldn't say a big loss now because they've got De Koning, but De Koning, like, they're spending so much money on that bloke. To me, he wasn't really any impact on the game at all. He had no impact. No impact that would warrant that much money they're paying for him. So yeah, and Flanders played okay. Just no one really stood out for me for St Kilda. What stood out most though was Perryman locking down Naz. That was a fucking effort and a half from Perryman. He pretty much killed Naz. Like, he did nothing, and Naz was so fucking shitty. He just kept fighting all game, kept fighting with anyone that was around him. It was like, fucking, he was fuming. Yeah, Perryman played a great game. Lockie Schultz, I want to say this about Lockie Schultz before I get into some other players. I thought when he first got to Collingwood, he would be a star. Like, I thought, like, this is exactly what Collingwood needed. Like, the rich get richer when he first came in there. He was a gun at Freo. Comes to Collingwood and was just so fucking shithouse. Just not shithouse, but just no impact. This game, I thought he played great. He had so much forward impact, lots of posies, couple of goals. Like, that was the Lockie Schultz that they needed. I think towards the end of last year, he was playing a little bit better, but I don't know. Look, Collingwood supporters may say different. I think this is the best game that Lockie Schultz has played for Collingwood. Let me know in the comments if I'm a dumb cunt, but I think this is the best game he's played. Jamie Elliott looks like the most disinterested footy player when it's just too hard. Like, when it's not handed on a silver platter for Jamie Elliott, he just doesn't care. He just, like, walks away. I fucking hate that. I can't stand that. He just doesn't care. Like, there was some contest towards the end of the game where it might have been over his head or something like that, like, it wasn't where he wanted it to be, and he just stopped and just walked and put his hands up in the air. It's like, fuck, man, you're a fucking professional. Like, have a crack. Yeah, the kick's no good, but try and get the fucking ball. Try and make an impact. It's just silly. It's just shit. And it's just, I've always, not always. I just lately, I just don't think he's been good. I just don't think he's like the Jamie Elliott of old, of course, because he's older. But he just even like the effort he gives sometimes is just shit. I don't know. That's just what I think. I think I'm right, to be honest. Pendlebury, spent the first, everyone knows, spent the first 20 minutes or so on the bench, had a bit of a half-forward role, did spend a lot of time half-back in the pre-season this year. Bit of an interesting role for Pendlebury, but fuck, he played well too, didn't he? He just is ageless, that guy, timeless, like wine, he ages, incredible. No matter where you put him, he'll figure it out and he'll play to the fullest and always give 100% and always make a big impact. He's just class. He's all fucking class, and it's a shame he plays for a fucking club like Collingwood because they don't deserve him. Sorry, I don't give a fuck what you guys say. Fuck you all. De Goey played well, bit more of a midfield time, jumped forward, kicked a couple of goals, helped the super coach. Thank you very much, Jordan De Goey. Nick Dacos, superstar, of course. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a separate video that I'm going to do, but I just don't look. There's a clear two best players in the AFL, right? It's Bont and Dacos. Okay, it's Bont and Dacos. Those are the two, I think, clear best players, right? Not like most important, because you could chuck in a couple more players, especially defenders. Like, I'd put Wiedering there because, like, fuck, he's the whole team. But the best two players, Bont, Dacos. I don't think Dacos is better than Bont. I think Bont is still the best player in the AFL. I don't really know how you can argue that Dacos is better than Bont. And I don't want to hear about, like, I don't know, like premierships or whatever, because they're both one premiership each. But I just don't see how you could say Dacos is better than Bont. Dacos is a freak, don't get me wrong, and he is clearly the most important player at Collingwood, right? Without Dacos, they don't have any offense. They're pretty shit. But I just don't think he's better than the Bont. I just saw some comments that say, he's clearly the best player. He's not. I'm sorry, he's not. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, and I'll fucking argue till I die that Bont is better than Dacos. Sorry. I'm not even a Doggies fan, all right? But I just think that's clear and obvious. Anyway, enough about that. Dacos, great game. Josh Dacos, fucking seagull, just got all the cheap posies. He loved it. It was Collingwood masterclass. I wouldn't say masterclass, but Collingwood, a typical Collingwood win. Hard fought, contest to contest. They won them all. They were tougher. They were better. They just were the better team. As simple as that. That's the Collingwood way. They're just the better team. They'll win. Doesn't matter how much by or how, they will find a way to win. So, yeah, that's the Collingwood experience, and we're all just fucking really enjoying that. I just thought, I just thought these are two high quality teams. I know it's round zero. But I just think these are two high quality teams that had high pressure all game. Collingwood's fourth quarter pressure was just relentless. Like, it was just non-stop. When they did force a turnover, I felt that they were just they could, not easily, but very fluid. They were able to go from halfback to full forward and kick a goal. So they were just very good, Collingwood. And they were just too good, again, for St Kilda. You hear me say that like 20,000 times, and I was probably fucking very annoying right now, but that is the God's honest truth. They were just too good for St Kilda. And I don't think St Kilda played bad. I just don't think that they're just not good enough yet. They're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. St Kilda's aggression, I thought, was great. Like, they were really getting stuck into some of these plays, which is what you want. Like, you want to see that, especially if you're playing a team like Collingwood. Like, you need to get stuck into Nick Dacos. You need to. That's the way to not throw him off. But, if you stop Dacos, you've pretty much stopped like 40% of Collingwood already. So that's the way to start. You get into Dacos. Collingwood's obviously pressure was relentless. I did say that before. I'm just fucking repeating myself now. But yeah, no, I thought two high quality position teams. I know it's round zero, so we'll see how long this actually lasts, because there's a long fucking season ahead. A long season ahead. Now, just want to have a quick look here, because I just want to know. So Collingwood have Adelaide next week at the MCG, which I think is going to be a really good game, but Collingwood will win, right? So Collingwood will beat Adelaide next week. St Kilda have Melbourne. So that's a win for St Kilda. I just want to look at Collingwood's next 5 games. Probably should have had this. Okay, so they got the bye the week after. Hang on, let me just quickly do this. Sorry, boys. All right, here we go. So they got Adelaide at the MCG. Okay, here we go. This is the Collingwood experience, guys. So next week, Adelaide at the MCG. Giants, round 3, because they've got a round 2 bye at Marvel. Okay, then they've got Brisbane at the Gabba. That's tough. Then they've got Freo at Gather Round, right? And then they've got Carlton. So honest to God, they're going to go probably 5-1 to start the year. They'll probably lose to Brisbane, right? Probably. And to be honest, they could probably beat Brisbane. Like, I think they play really well at Brisbane. So yeah, I think. And then they've got Essendon. It's Anzac Day. So then they're going to be 6-1. They could be 7-0. Easily 7-0 to start the year. Easily. Let's have a look at St Kilda's next couple of games. Just curious, because it's going to matter a lot with St Kilda, because it's going to be an optics thing. Like, they spend all this money. All right, what can they actually do? So here we go. So they've got Melbourne next week. That's an easy win. Okay. Giants at NG Stadium. I know they play well there, but that's probably a loss. Like, let's get real. Like, fucking, the Giants looked pretty good yesterday. Then they've got Brisbane at Marvel, tough game. Port Adelaide at Adelaide, tough game. Adelaide at Adelaide, tough game. And then they've got West Coast. So they could be fucking they could be staring down the barrel of like a 2-4, 2-4, maybe 3-3. Really staring down the barrel of that, and that's going to be a tough way to start the year because there's so much hope at St Kilda. I know it's the start of the year; it's all about how you finish, but they want to, they really want to show that from the get-go that we're the fucking team to beat. So anyway, that is opening round, my favourite round of the year, because it doesn't make any sense because it's round 0, yet the games actually matter. I will be back soon. We will have some callers coming in. We will be previewing, round 1, full slate of games. I'm really fucking in. I'm really fucking in now. So, thanks for listening. If you are listening, drop down the comments if you think I am a dumb cunt and I don't know anything about ball, because I do. I am the ball knower and I will always be the ball knower. But thanks for listening. If you are listening, goodbye.